The Spyderco Pacific Salt in H1 steel. Yep, it's finally happened. I couldn't resist anymore. It's just too cool not to do it. I have been intrigued by this knife for a while now, and as of yesterday, I finally purchased one for myself, and there's a couple of reasons why. The Pacific Salt in H1 steel is not revolutionary. It's not the first of its kind. There are a lot of things that it's not, but what it is it's a great EDC knife. Here's why. H1 steel, right up front, highly rust and corrosion resistant. Spyderco says it will not rust. Wrong. It will. It will. But it takes an enormous amount of abuse to get it there. It will not rust for a long time. It will not rust at all with even the slightest bit of care. It will not rust if you have any common sense for maintaining your blade. There are a lot of caveats, but no, saying it will not rust, period, no, that's not accurate. It will rust. It would just take an enormous amount of time to get it there, okay? Another thing I love about this is going to shock a lot of people, I know, but a hollow saber grind, I kind of like. I do. I kind of like it. Virtually all of my other Spydercos actually, are full flat grind knives, which, look, for slicing, it doesn't get any better. Razor sharp with those, okay? But it's different. The Spyderco Pacific Salt is different. You'll notice the tip, it's kind of a modified sheep's foot, okay? The tip is not really suited super well towards piercing, okay? You can tell if I compared this to one of my Enduras, well, I meant to lay one out and I didn't, but if you compare this to one of the Enduras or the Delica, those have a much more pronounced point to them, whereas this one is a little blunted, okay? And from what I've read and what I understand, that was the intention behind that. Was this is blunted in case you have to use it in a rescue sort of role. You know, if you're having to cut something on your person or on someone else, you know, stressful situation, you don't want to get in there and accidentally jab them, okay? So that's blunted to prevent anything like that from accidentally happening. The next thing, and my absolute favorite thing about this knife comes in at an anorexic weight of 3 ounces, and I love it. 3 ounces, that's nothing. A knife this size, and this is a big knife, folks. This is a very good sized blade. 3 ounces? Are you kidding me? That's awesome. That's nothing. You will forget about this real quick. Another thing about the Pacific Salt that I like, the grips. These are not the now traditional Spyderco Volcano grips. This is their older style. Yeah, they're still FRN. They're not G10, which I like the the FRN. G10's nice too, but between G10 and FRN, I actually kind of like the FRN better. I don't know why, I just do. These are the older style of grips. If you bought an Endura pre-2000 and I want to say maybe 2005, I'm probably wrong on that. I'm sure someone will correct me, but if you bought an old school Spyderco, let's say it that way, this is probably the type of grips that came on your knife. Okay, Spyderco moved away from this little this design here that kind of looks like stippling. They moved away from this a few years ago, and now they're a little more abrasive. They're kind of at a slight angle, and it grips, I guess it grips the hand maybe a little bit better. I just kind of like these because they're a little more smooth. You've still got a good grip on the knife. You don't feel like you're going to lose it or anything. But I just kind of like the feel of these grips. This is kind of a throwback to the way Spyderco used to do things. Awesome. Okay. You know, standard Spyderco jimping. No issue there. Standard lanyard hole on the back there. Comes with the pocket clip. It's ambidextrous, but it can only be carried tip up, which I think that's how most folks prefer to carry their pocket knives nowadays anyway. I think the big misconception with this knife is, well, that only appeals to folks who live near the ocean, or who work around water, who are frequently around water. I'm here to tell you, you don't have to be a California surfer to want this knife, okay? You don't have to be a marine biologist to want this knife. I've always thought that it was just a good looking blade. It looks very similar to the Endura. It's kind of like the California cousin of the Endura. You can tell they're related, but this one's just kind of got its own little groovy thing going on. This is a excellent blade. Excellent blade. When I bought this, I had the option of getting it in either black or yellow. I was really close to getting the yellow. But the more I thought about it, I thought, well, with where I live, I do not live near an ocean. I think the nearest ocean is 5 hours away from me. My thought with this knife was, no, I don't live in a, in a marine sort of environment, but I definitely like the weight of this knife and how slim it is. It's really slim, even more so than the Enduras. It's hard to tell, but actually if you hold one of these, you can tell that yes, it is in fact even more slim than the Endura. Okay, so it's more slim, it's lighter, but it's the same size, the same shape. You're not really giving up anything. You're gaining less ounces in your pocket for the same practical purpose. So that, paired with the fact that just naturally my skin is fairly acidic, so I thought, well, a kind of a nice little bonus with this is I'm not going to have to worry about maintaining this quite as much as my other knives. And to be quite honest, I think this knife is probably going to turn into my primary EDC blade. And I love my Enduras. The knife that kind of got me started down the whole Spyderco path was just a traditional brown Endura 4 full flat grind. It was given to me as a gift when I graduated from college, and that was all it took. Once I had that, I kind of had the fever. And I love that knife. Love the paramilitaries, the Delicas, the Dragonflies. I picked up a Rhodey not long ago. That's a neat little blade. I did a video on that. If you haven't seen it, check it out. Love all their knives, but I gotta say, just this knife I'm just in love with. A great blade. Great blade. Would not feel the least bit vulnerable leaving the house with nothing but this in my pocket, to be honest with you. I have that much confidence in it. Great blade. So anyway, I hope you have enjoyed this. I hope I covered all the little bullet points of why this knife appealed to me. Between its slimness, its lightweight design, it's great quality steel. You know, for all these reasons, I think this just makes an excellent EDC knife. If you have the chance, check out their website, check them out locally if you can, whatever you need to do. I don't know if I mentioned in a previous video, this catalog I have, the knife sitting on here, Spyderco 2017 product guide. This was free. You can get one of these for free. Heck, a couple more months and it'll be the 2018 guide. All I had to do was go to Spyderco's website, and there's a section on the website where you can request a catalog. You put in your address, and they send you a free catalog. There's no charge. You don't have to put in any, billing information. You don't put in any credit card information, nothing like that. You just put in where you live and the catalog, and I think it may have asked me, where I heard about Spyderco or a few other little simple questions. But a few weeks later, boom, catalog. And this is not like just like a magazine. I'm going to move the camera for a moment here. This is not something that's just like magazine size. This thing is pretty darn thick, okay? And it is absolutely chock full of all kinds of awesome stuff. Definitely pleased that Spyderco is taking care of their supporters, taking care of their fans with something as simple as a free catalog in the mail. Us knife people, we get excited about this sort of stuff. So another awesome thumbs up for Spyderco. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. We'll see you next time.